Honorable team members of the United States Senate Federal Credit Union, today we gather to share an initiative that carries the power to redefine our organization's path ahead, the DEI Cultural Inclusion Project. This endeavor encourages each of us to contribute our stories, our journeys, and our perspectives on cultural integration. Within each of you resides a narrative that has the potential to spark empathy, build bridges, and foster a truly inclusive environment. This initiative will help us garner a better understanding of those we work with and allow us to develop a new perspective on the importance of everyone's diverse journeys. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to those who have stepped forward, ready to share their stories and lend their voice to this collective symphony.
My name is Adrian. I am a member service representative here at USSFCU Federal Credit Union, and I just want to say a little bit about my family's origins. So I'm originally from North Chicago, Illinois. I have 3 siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, and out of all of us, we're pretty much all from North Chicago, Illinois. My brother is the only one from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Now, when I was growing up, we used to always go to the Taste Chicago. It's a wonderful food festival that they used to have in the city of Chicago. And we used to go there every year, try all the food and have all the fun. And it used to be wonderful. I do know they have a Taste Chicago in DC, but it's nothing like Taste Chicago in Chicago. When I was young, I say a few years after, my grandmother came out here first. She figured out that this was a great area, a great environment, based on the changes that were going on in Chicago. So she got me and my mom out here, and then everybody else followed along. We've been here since.
Hi there, my name is Allison. A little bit about me. I immigrated to the U.S. at the age of 4, originally from Seoul, South Korea. I moved here with my parents and my older brother. I've lived in Montgomery County, Maryland for the majority of my life. My father was a liaison to the U.S. Army from South Korea, a South Korean liaison to the U.S. Army. And he was very fortunate to travel back and forth to New York and to Pennsylvania. And ultimately, when he decided that he wanted to move to the U.S. permanently, we landed in Montgomery County, Maryland.
I'm Ashley McCoy, and I currently work in risk management at the credit union. I reside in southwestern Virginia, and my family has lived there for as long as I can trace our family tree back. My mom's maiden name is Connor, which traces back to Ireland, and my dad's family and my maiden name is Spangler, which traces back to Germany. And we have lived in Floyd County for many, many years. And Floyd County is very well known for the Friday night jamboree, which has bluegrass music. And my great-grandfather, Samuel Connor, is well known for playing the fiddle. And every Friday night, rain, shine, musicians, dancers, visitors from all over the world come together.
I would like to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm Latino, specifically Hispanic. My family comes from El Salvador. In case you don't know, that's in Central America. And the reason why we came to the DMV area is because back in the early 80s, my grandpa immigrated from El Salvador due to the Civil War here to Virginia. He had a couple of family members, and he was looking for a better opportunity, not only for himself, for the generations to come. The Civil War in El Salvador was very, very tragic. Towns got wiped away, people got assassinated, kids got recruited to either the army or the guerrilla when they were like 8 years old. Where they gone? So people didn't want that for their sons, their families, their wives. It was a very bloody civil war that brought many people not only to the DMV area, but specifically in America. And we have about, I want to say maybe 4 million El Salvadorians in America, plus the other 6 million that are back home. But it was something very tragic that shaped the future of our country. My grandparent was the segue for everybody to come to America and have a better future. And I'm so thankful that he did that because some of my cousins were born here. Other family members, came at a young age. And I personally came at a young age. I came to America when I was 12 years old. And if it wasn't for the brave move that he made to come from one country to a whole different culture, I wouldn't be here telling you my testimony.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Britz. I am a systems analyst here at the credit union. For this, as far as my family's roots and origin, my mother's side, they originally from the UK or England, and my father's side is originally from Germany. My mother's side immigrated somewhere in the mid 1700s, where my father's side was closer to the beginning of the 1800s. Mother's side, they settled in Nelson County, Virginia, where my father's side settled in Fluvanna. For this, I grew up in Nelson County, Virginia, and still in the area today.
So my origin is a mix of India and Pakistan. It's like a likely odd and like a couple together, but my father's side is from Ambala, and my grandfather was a diplomat. He came over here at the Pakistani diplomatic mission because he was really impressed with the American culture, about the rights and, you know, what America stands for. So he chose to be, you know, deputed or put on duty in the United States. He opened the door for us, and, you know, I would like to thank him for that. He's no longer with us, but, you know, I miss my granddad a lot. He was a great person. He put in values and, you know, about respecting each other for who we are, and what we believe in. That's what America stands for, and that's what he appreciated. And my granddad came here in the 1980s, and he wanted to make a better life for himself. He was already good because he was a diplomat, but he saw a future for his generations to come up and, you know, live the American dream. So he put in a lot of sacrifices his entire life. He went through a migration of its own, then he migrated to the United States. So we're children of migrants, and America is a nation of migrants. And that's what makes it even better and sweeter for all of us.
One of the most misunderstood aspects of our culture that I believe is that we're lazy. See, the thing about our culture is you can't be lazy in this culture. My grandmother, she went from Chicago, she came to Maryland, and she made it happen. You can do it too.
What is the misunderstood aspect of Korean culture? I think Korean people are extremely proud. It is ingrained in us as we are children how important education is. And so it is not uncommon to see children at, you know, ages 5, 6 years old going to multiple learning centers, coupled with going to school. And that continues as we get older, as children get older and gets, you know, prepares for college entry and things of that nature. Koreans work hard. They believe in working hard pays off hard. And unfortunately, when, you know, Koreans work hard, they also play hard. They like to drink. They, you know, men like to smoke cigarettes a lot. If you've ever watched K-dramas, you'll see that. But I think, you know, right now the world is immersed with, you know, BTS, K-pop, Korean barbecue. And that's a very fantasized version of what Korean culture is really like. I think Korean culture is beautiful. I think the people are beautiful. I think Korean people might be misunderstood at times. But I think, you know, even learning from BTS, even what they've done to bring Korea to people's TV and computers says volumes.
There are common stereotypes about Appalachian culture, that we are less educated, ignorant, not as progressive. And those are things that a lot of us have probably heard before. And it's hard sometimes to not let stereotypes affect you personally. An example for me, when I started college in my early years, I tried to get rid of my Southern accent like a lot of people do. I was doing an internship at a radio station, and someone actually called in when I pronounced something a little differently. So, and at the time it was very hard for me, but I just felt, okay, I've got to get rid of my accent. That's what I have to do. And it's unfortunate because looking back on it, years later, like a lot of other people, you feel like maybe you've lost something of your cultural and your language tradition by doing that.
One thing that Americans might misunderstand about El Salvador or El Salvadorians is that we are not all gang members. Some of us have ambition. There's always bad people. There's always bad apples in every community, in every culture. But that doesn't mean that just because of one bad apple, it doesn't mean that all of us are like that. Some of us, personally, I like to reach my goals and dreams. I like to be professional. I want to be somebody one day. And that's what I'm working towards too. So next time you talk to somebody, just don't assume. Just know that we all are fighting for our dreams. Some people are doing it the wrong way, but most of us are doing it the correct way. It breaks my heart to be misunderstood, specifically because I get identified as Salvadorian and I get put into one category. It breaks my heart due to the fact that I'm actually working hard over here to make my dreams come true, to make my family proud, to make everybody around me proud.
So something misunderstood about my culture, and I'll just say that this is going to be from the South, is how we do respect people. So building off of what I said earlier, part of the respect is saying, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, being polite to everyone. Now, sometimes that can come off as, condescending or rude, but most of the time, there's not any ill will behind those words. It's just something you say, something that we've been taught to say from a very early age, and it shouldn't always be seen negatively.
Being a Muslim, I believed that, Muslims were misunderstood, and I'll emphasize on were, because the Muslim faith in general believes in everything that America was founded on. Equal rights for all women rights. Everybody has a right to live. Nobody was born to be slave to nobody. And it believes in freedom, equality, and, for the people, by the people. So it's a religion of peace. And a lot of knowledge has been spread, during these past 2 decades about my religion and my people. And I'd like to say that, America is more welcoming. Like, it should have been the contrary, but that's, about America, that they'll always take everything in the positive light. And I'd like to give America its credit because, they are the most welcoming people. If you go to any place in the world, any country in the Middle East, they won't be as welcoming as America is to you. They will give you the rights to your religion, what you believe. It's your belief. What you practice is your practice. And that's what's the beauty of America, is that you can be who you want to be.
The most valuable lesson I learned about American culture is never be satisfied or content. There's always places to grow, people to see, money to be made, and things to do. So never be too comfortable with your position or where you are in life. The thing about American culture is that it's so many opportunity and it's so diverse that you'll learn so much about so many different places and so many different cultures around the world. But the thing that makes American culture a little different is the diversity that we have.
What is a valuable lesson that I've learned from American culture? I think that's really hard for me to explain or even share. Because I came here at such a young age, I think that I didn't really know any different. I felt that I was American above anything else. I will say that as I got older, it was very noticeable that the differences between, how I am, what I look like, it was very, very, very clear that there was a difference. In simple conversations with people, they would say, "Oh, wow, you speak English really well." Or, "Hey, you have no accent." So I think when I think about the valuable lessons that I've learned from American culture, even though, as a child, I felt that I was very, very similar, the same. I thought I was being treated the same. The differences were very more prominent, or were more noticeable. And, even though I felt, and I am an American, I still continue, and I still feel and I still continue that I'm sometimes viewed as a foreigner.
A valuable lesson I've learned from American culture is resourcefulness. And growing up in Appalachia, I learned how to be self-reliant and resourceful by watching a family who had their own garden, canned food, often fix things themselves. I learned a lot watching them. And sometimes resourcefulness doesn't come up as an important skill until you go through difficult times. And during COVID, there were times, as I'm sure many of you know, where certain products may not have been available, and I had to become very creative with cooking and just using what I had. And during that time, I really valued those skills that I had learned and watched with my family.
One of the valuable lessons that I keep dear to my heart that America has shown me is that opportunity is always knocking on your door. Why? Because anything that you put your mind to, anything that you have passion for, or any ambitions that you want to accomplish, America will make that happen. Why? Because if you put in the work, the opportunities come. It's not going to be given to you, but the opportunities will come if you look for them. And America is the country of opportunity.
The most important thing that I've learned from American culture, at least from the South, is to be kind to everyone. You don't really know what someone's going through, and just being kind to everyone, you keep everyone's hopes high and hopefully make someone's day. This did me good when I was working in the call center, and hopefully it'll stay with me in the IT department.
So the best part of American culture is the American dream. Everybody says that the American dream is over and dead, but I don't believe that. It is still alive and up and going. Basically, if you come to America, America would give you the opportunities if you put the hard work in it and you hustle and you put the dedication. Everybody in the American culture is very loving, welcoming, and it's a very caring and a very, very, loving culture where everybody is there to push you forward. They're not there to pull you down, but they're there to promote your ideas, your dreams. So the meaning of the American dream to me is that everybody believes in your dream. If you have the right mindset, you have the right attitude, and you have the will, America will make it possible for you. And it will give you the inclusion, the tools, and the skills to make that possible.
Remember, our commitment to inclusivity reaches far beyond this room. It radiates into our daily interactions and shapes the world we aspire to create. A diverse workforce embracing a multitude of backgrounds and viewpoints fuels innovation, drives creativity, and promotes adaptability. Inclusion is not merely a virtue. It is a strategic imperative that enriches decision-making, propels problem-solving, and opens doors to opportunities previously unseen. Thank you for your presence, your engagement, and your dedication. As we look ahead to the unfolding chapters, let us continue to champion the spirit of inclusion in all its forms. Our collective journey begins with this shared commitment.
At the United States Senate Federal Credit Union, don't you ever forget that we take DEI seriously.